Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rahul, and this time I've scored 260. This is my second attempt. So first of all, I would like to thank sir. I can't thank him enough. The amount of change he has brought in me, so that is huge. So sociology is a subject which has helped me immensely. And to be precise, I haven't scored well in my GS. What pulled me in is the sociology optional and ethics. Sorry, optional ethics and essay. So first of all, I would like to thank sir for the change he brought in and for the efforts he have put in my work. So and now, yeah, almost everything has been stated by the sister. So that is the functional aspect of it, and it has made things easy for me. But the second thing, that is the dysfunctional aspect, is I don't know what else I'll have to add up. She has literally piled up everything, and now I've just left with few of the things which I'll just narrate. And before that, I'll tell you, apart from the exam perspective, the conversation you have with sir, that has been the vital aspect to me. Just like how he was speaking now, he generally speaks in the same way. Whatever comes out of his mouth is a sociological answer for you. You can relate it, throughout your process. You can relate it to whatever question you look on. So I'll just put things in a nutshell and just run you through the short points. So the first aspect is about your preparation. That is what effort you can put in, and the second one is about the implementing aspect of it. Okay. So what I did is I also had a similar approach, like how my sister also had. So the thing is, I had confined all my notes. I just had a minimum notes. What I did is I revised it thoroughly. I revised it repeatedly. And the other aspect which I would like to say is, you can source it from a different sources. What all notes you want to prepare, how good you want to represent something, you can source it from different sources. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you should have a very confined note. You can refer a lot of sources, you can take in points from a lot of sources, but at the end of the day, you should have a very confined note, and that is the only thing which will help you in the exam. Because if you are still reading the same thing again and again, and if you have a lot of things to read up also before the exam, things become very difficult for you to remember. So, and the other aspect, why I took this approach, is because I thought sociology is a subject which is very dynamic, and it also provides you an opportunity to put in your creativity. Apart from what you have inculcated through your readings and what you have inculcated through your masters and your this thing, it definitely gives you a space to put in your creativity. So, and I thought that is my strength, and I'll have to work on my strength. I'll have to rely on my strength. My strength is not about memorizing things. I was pretty weak in all these factual and memorizing things, so I was good in my analytical part. So I'll put my heart and soul in that. So that is why I chose this subject also in the first instance, because I thought sociology is a subject which could be completed very easily within a quick span of time. And at the same time, you do not have to read a lot of things. If you understand things, and if you are clever and intelligent enough to integrate a lot of parts, it becomes easy for you. So that is what I also did. But I seriously don't think someone can give you a very you know a very holistic understanding of current affairs and sociology better than sir. I seriously don't know who can even connect artificial intelligence with Mead's mind and brain in theory. Seriously, when he took this topic, it was just mind blowing for me. Artificial intelligence and Mead's concept. So just like how she also told, it might not give you a clear answer, or they might not ask a question which is completely that, but that knowledge will help you to score that extra mark in some other question. If any question is asked in meets, you can put in that conclusion, and trust me, no one else would have done that. And it is for sure that you are going to get that one extra mark, and that plays a key role here also. So that is the thing about the preparation. My notes was, yeah, like someone asked, I had prepared my static notes. So I had a clear cut blueprint for the question paper, and I think that is also very important. I'll tell you, I seriously, throughout this two years, I did not have this problem of completing the paper. I never had this time management issue. That is, I would not say I had done something, but that is basically, I think I write pretty fast. So that is the only thing. But apart from that, what you can do is, you can prepare your blueprint. You can prepare a blueprint answer for certain questions. And how it would help you is, it would it would save you your time in the questions which are very static. So you can take in the time from that question and you can put it in a very difficult question. So that is how you manage your time. It is not that you are going to spend the same amount of time in every question, right? So if you can put in, that if you can take in that 1-2 minutes extra in some questions which you have already prepared, then you can invest that in the difficult question. That is how I also did. So I had the static notes, and apart from that I also had this value addition from different sources. I have kept it in A4 sheet. For example, the examples which are relating to sociology. The second one is about the thinkers. You definitely have to put it in a very short sample space. That is about the example and about facts also. And then examples, facts, what else, and the thinkers. And the thinkers, it is very difficult for us to remember all the thinkers. So if you can pretty much put it in a simple space, that if someone is going to ask you about labor and labor reforms, definitely you are going to put in these two three thinkers. That is how that's how it has to be done. And the thing is, sir will definitely help you in figuring out things. I seriously did not have a clue when I started preparing for my optional subject. Even after giving one attempt, I just got 220 in the first attempt in sociology, and I seriously wasn't able to figure out how a sociological answer should be written, and what all it requires, and what all it demands from me. I seriously did not have any clue. And sir would definitely know the differences I had from the just first test and the second test. I don't think I know I don't remember it clearly, but I hadn't completed my whole pages which were given. I'll just write 1.5 pages for two. I mean the 10-mark question. That is because I thought completing the pages were not enough. It was only about the content we had, but it is not at all about that. It is also about the presentation. That also plays an equal role. So you'll have to complete the whole pages. So you'll have to structure your handwriting in such a way that it doesn't consume much of your time, but at the same time it gives a perspective that okay, he has completed the whole paper, he has invested his knowledge in here. So that is how it is about being very clever and being very intelligent there. And this second part I would not say much about it, because what we can do is what we can do. These things are left to someone else, but you cannot prey on your luck until you put in your all your hard work and smart work. So that is the thing. I still don't think I have figured out the whole sociological answer writing and all. But I also followed a similar procedure like how sister told. If a question was clueless, I'll just go with the same perspective. That is, you talk about caste, you talk about class, you talk about religion, you talk about gender, you talk about all these feminist perspective. And if you do not have a clue, you just take clues from all the thinkers, all the prominent thinkers. And what sir told me and which helped me immensely was, whatever the question is, try to connect it with at least one of the prominent thinker. That will definitely help you. That will almost give you one whole paragraph to write. If you do not have any clue about it, think about it. Any one thinker will definitely, he'll definitely give his hand to help you. That will definitely help you. So that is the thing about figuring out. And about the answer also, I would say, it is not about a particular strategy or a particular plan for every question. What I personally prefer is, things should not be monotonous. That's it. If you're going to put in diagrams, do not put in for every question. Just have it, you should save it for the best, like that. And if you are going to have a particular flow of line in your writing, that should also not be monotonous. It should be different. It should be different for different questions. So that the examiner or the invigilator should not have a feeling that this guy is very archaic. He just has that particular strategy and he just repeats it. That should not be the thing. You should be innovative. It should be different. Every question, at least a slight, it should be slightly different from the previous question you have written. And also it is about differentiating your answers from the others. So that is where sister told you, these current affairs, these proper conclusions and this proper introduction will help you. And so I think I've summed up all my preparation and how it went. And how the test series will help you is, trust me, sir will give you a proper conclusion, introduction, and the sociological definition for a question. the dynamic aspect and how you go about, how the approach you have is different, and it individually it is about you. But a proper conclusion, a proper introduction, and a proper sociological definition for a question will be given by sir. I can vouch for that. And what you have to do from your side is, just like how she also told, you'll have to go through all the answers you wrote. It is not that you have written it and your task is completed. It is not at all like that. You'll have to write, you'll have to make changes, you'll have to rectify all your mistakes, and you'll definitely have to go through it. And having said that, it is not that you go through it at the last instance before your exam. You should keep doing it. That is what one of the mistake, I think probably I did that. I kept it for the last, I saved it for the last, and I just went through it through a revision process. But I think if two papers are completed and if you got it corrected and all your value addition points are also written, you'll have to go through it before you attend the third paper. So you'll definitely take what all you have missed and you'll add that value to your third paper. So that should happen in a continuous manner. So this is how the test series will definitely help you. And yeah, you should definitely go through all your papers, and you'll have to meticulously and religiously write all your papers. Trust me, you'll always have this feeling of not completing, not knowing enough, whether to take it or not. You will always have this hesitating and procrastinating emotion, but you'll definitely have to overcome it. It's no other go. You have only one option left. You'll have to write all your questions, or you'll have to write it from whatever content you have. However you have read, you'll definitely have to go through it. You'll have to go for it. So that is what I would also say, and make changes according to it. So if you have any further queries or any
I want to repeat the question again. As a fresher, what should be done and what should not be done? So, as a fresher, how to approach sociology? For example, we are moving on with the GS classes and along with optional classes. How much time should be allocated for sociology on a particular day? And moving on to the second thinker or third thinker, I used to forget the first thinker,
okay.
what and all he has told, and how to revise every thinker. How did you make your notes? Like after completing the class notes, how did you do it and everything? As a crisp, can you tell me?
Yeah, sure. So I'll go in a reverse mode. So first thing is, just everyone will have this experience of forgetting the first thinker when they come to the second thinker. But trust me, only after reading the whole sociology, you'll get a hold of sociology itself. That's how it is done. You'll definitely not remember all the 100% of what you have read in the previous thinker. At least if you have a small gist of what the previous thinkers have told, that is enough. Do not stress on it. Do not get into the zone of anxiety that you are forgetting everything. Do not get on that. Only after completing the whole sociological portion, you'll get a hold of the subject itself. Then in the second round is where you'll start remembering things. So that is how it is done. And the second part is, it totally depends on the individual. Previously and all, people, I had this bad experience myself. People just told me to focus on my essay, ethics, and optional. GS, it's okay, it'll definitely come. So that doesn't happen now. You'll have to give your equal importance and equal emphasis on all the subject. But definitely sociology is a subject where you have two papers, and the margin of difference between other people is also huge in sociology. So that is how you can invest a little bit more much of your time on in sociology. So that is how you can do. And the approach you will have to have as a fresher is, first you will have to be thorough on your content. So do not directly jump into or dive into the answer writing concept. You go through your notes, you prepare your notes. First read your books, then prepare your note, get accustomed with what sociology is. Then you will start to figure out things. That is where you will have to start writing answers. And before writing answers also, you will definitely have to go through all the previous year question papers. And if you have an opportunity to go through the toppers paper, that will also give you a lot of insights. So that will help you immensely. You will not figure out how sociological answers are written. So if you get a hint of how toppers write, or how people who have performed well in sociology they write, then you'll get an idea. Okay, this is how sociological answer is written. And from sir's class also, you'll get that orientation and the line of direction in which you'll have to think for an answer, sociological answer. That will help.
Sir, my question is regarding sociology mains.
Okay.
So you scored 40 marks higher than the first attempt and second attempt. So what's the strategy for the next attempt where you have to score more than 40 to 50 marks? Because you know the basics, you know how to write, you know how to complete the paper. But what extra things you have to do for the second attempt, subsequent attempt in the 3 months? Uh, what's the strategy to increase that 50 to 60 marks?
Okay. So here also I would tell, my preparation part was, consistent enough for me to get that 20 marks extra. I mean, still a 10 to 15 marks extra. That is, I could have probably got 275 above with my preparation, how I went. But my implementation part was not that good because I'll tell you, the approach which I had in my mock test is I'll just go like how sister told. I'll attend the first 5 compulsory question, then I'll go to the 20 mark question, and then at last I'll go to the other 5 10 mark question. So I did not have time to add in all the current affairs, all the extra value addition point, which I probably missed out. So I had a time crunch issue. I started with 20 marks, so my total approach itself was different, which I haven't tried before the before the actual exam. So these things went wrong for in my implementation part, but my preparation part was intact. So I could have probably got 275, if luck had favored me and if I had the proper one. And from here on to the next, what I would like to do is I would definitely like to add the current affairs part. I had kept my note in current affairs, but I did not, somehow I missed out on that in adding it on the answer. So the current affairs part I would definitely add, and diagram also. I think I've put like 2 3 diagrams for a paper. Probably I should include like two to three more diagrams. So that I'll do. I'll add current affairs, and and I'll have to be consistent enough so that I do not lose up anything which I have done previously. So that would be my approach for the next one.
Highly dynamic in it.
Hmm.
How would you able to make notes and what the strategy behind say?
Okay.
Is the sociology?
Yeah, definitely. Sociology helped me immensely because I think the two essays which I took previous year, it is somewhat related. The one is directly related to the sociology, that is about patriarchy, indirect patriarchy. The second half, and the first was about human and being human, a journey from human to being human. So that is also somewhat linked. I'll tell you'll have to pick and you'll have to rely on your strength when it comes to essay. It is not that you'll have to write totally different, you'll have to stand out. It is not at all like that. You'll have to pick and choose the question where you can perform well, and you have proper notes for that. Few questions might seem to be very easy for you to understand. So the first, I'll tell you essay also. The simple thing is, first one is you'll have to definitely understand the question. You'll have to understand each and every word of the question. If you do not understand the question, do not go for the question. That is the first aspect, because you'll definitely regret it after writing half of the pages. You'll start to think whether this is the way this question has to be interpreted, or have I interpreted it wrongly. That is where all of your confidence goes down, and you will not be able to progress further. So the first aspect is you should definitely understand each and every word of the question. That is the first one. And the second one is you should definitely choose things which you are very easy and comfortable with. It is not that no one will pick this, I'll pick this, I'll stand out. It is not at all like that. You'll have to be very thorough with that. So that is the second aspect. And the third aspect is about differentiating your paper from the others. That is how much value you add to your answers. Everyone will write that cliche proper structural answers, but it is about these extra brownie points which will give you extra marks. So that is the third one. And the fourth one is also about your presentation, your handwriting and all. So sociology definitely helped me in these two one. But apart from that, for value addition, what I had is I had already kept and prepared. I've already prepared and kept the important examples around the globe. For example, if it is about feminism, I've kept a few examples for progress, for modernization, for everything. I've prepared examples, and at the same time, for few static subjects like static topics like health and education, there also I've prepared examples along with that facts also, from SDGs to MDGs, from different committees, recommendation, indices. All these I've prepared and kept. And then it is about your writing. No one can. I'll tell. No one can assess and judge their own performance when it comes to essay and ethics. Apart from that, you yourself can figure out how you are writing, whether you are improving or not. But seriously, you'll have to give it to others about judging your essay paper and ethics paper. You would feel very comfortable and you would feel very good about your answers. But that is what matters. That doesn't matter. What others look like, how it looks to the others, that is what matters. So you'll have to write it. You'll have to try out all the things, all different strategies you have before going and attending the original paper. Yes. Social justice and sociology.
Social justice,
Yes.
secularism, capitalism, like that, and all.
Yes.
How we can use sociology ideas in that.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah. The changes which I made from the first attempt to the second attempt is that sir had clearly told me that you do not have to have an airtight compartment differentialization from GS and sociology. Things are very integrated. If you have good points in GS, you can definitely put in sociology. And at this, it is vice versa. You can take points from sociology and then write it in GS also. But you'll have to make tweak changes. You'll have to tweak changes. That is, in sociology, you'll write it sociologically. That is the definitional aspect. You'll write stratification. Now, stratification is another word. You can write it in GS itself. But functional, dysfunctional, all these latency, that and all, you do not regularly use it in GS. And you should also give see, just like I've told you, it is about being intelligent and clever enough. If you've written all the keywords in GS, the examiner will definitely understand that this guy is from sociology. So however good you write, it might not impress him. But at the same time, if you are giving in all the points of sociology but without adding the thinker or without adding the key definitional sociological terms, they'll understand, okay, this guy has a lot of points, this guy. Okay, so that is how it goes. So you can take points from sociology and write it in social justice, but you will have to tweak changes. Without all the definition, without all the thinkers, or without sociological explanation, put it in simple points. You can write like mobility helps. Stratification is always present in the, instead of writing it is eternal and functional and all, you write it in simple words.